Hello, my name is Ian Monahan. This will be my website review assignment. Uh, I will start with the website that I think does things pretty well in general. That is the Washington Music Educators Association website. First thing I think this website does pretty well is the distinction of parts of the page. For example, the banner up here and the way you sign in to get your membership access, as well as the drop downs on the side and the main content in the middle, feels really consistent throughout all of the tabs you can go to. That being said, I think this first chunk of website right here doesn't work. It just doesn't work so well for me. I think it feels really busy. Everything on this page, in my opinion, could be condensed to like a slideshow banner or maybe something similar. It feels like there's a lot going on this page specifically. But when you go to any other specific page on the website, for example, if you want to register for a conference, it doesn't feel like that problem is consistent throughout the website. It's just on the home page. Additionally, I think all the tabs on the sides and the options you get from them, I feel are really specific, which is something I like. I feel like the website as a whole is really easy to navigate. Like, you go to advocacy, it's every specific thing you would ever want about advocacy in relation to our profession in Washington. You go to regions, it gives you everything you need to know, your insurance, your presidents of each individual region that you're in Washington. So even though the homepage for me doesn't work, I feel like the rest of the website is just so simple to navigate that I don't really, it doesn't bother me that the front page is like that. The website that I think is okay, that does some things well and some things I really dislike, is the IMSLP website. It's a music library for anything that's public domain, so it's really common for music educators to use this website for chamber music contests and solo contests, so students don't have to be purchasing copies of things if they're available here. It's very popular. I appreciate the drop-down tabs, how clean it works together. You can find recordings of composers or performers. You can sort things by what their instrumentation is, what the composer's name is, where the composer is from. I feel like this works very well. One of the things I don't think works so well is how long it takes for you to get to the music that you want to have. So let's say I want to find some music by Bach, and I search Bach on the main page of the website. It takes you to a completely new page that's not related to the website. It's formatted like your search engine, and you have to click another link to get to Bach's page. You get some information about Bach, which is great, but then you have to scroll down even further to find his compositions. So you're here, let's say, okay, I know what I want. I want the first Brandenburg Concerto for one of my students. Click on this, and it's another full page of things before I can even get to the music. And it's recordings first, and then music. Okay, great, I found the score, several different score options. Click on parts. I want the oboe parts. And it takes you to a whole other page. You have to accept the disclaimer that you know that this music is being used the way it is. If some countries don't have the same licensing rules that we do. You continue to download the file, and it takes you to a completely new website or new page that you have to wait for. It just feels like there's too many things between you and the music, and a lot can go wrong. And I think it could have been simplified in a lot of ways. And that's my biggest complaint of that. My other pretty major complaint with this website is that the way, when you get to a piece you want, so we're on Brandenburg Concerto number 1, it just feels like there's a lot to take in on this page. there's a whole slide of recordings before you get to the music. And usually for music, there's scores and then parts. And it's just, I wish, in addition to the nice divisions they have here, that there were divisions that you could open up from the sheet music and the recordings and the general information at the bottom. I wish you could choose to open and close each of those sections just so there's less going on. I also wish I could do that with the specific recording or the scores, like right here. Like I wish I could make this go away and just look at other options I have instead of them all being open all of the time. Like there's so much information going on the page all at once. I wish I had the option to make it go away for a little bit for part of it and then bring it back when I want to. So I think, there's a lot of really neat ways to go about finding your music. That's something I think this website does well. If I want, I want to play a Baroque piece. I go to time period, I click on Baroque. It gives me every single option for Baroque music. And I think that's great. If I want, I can go by nationality of composer. Like these options are really good. I just think it takes too long to get to my music ultimately after I've decided how I want to go about it. And I wish that I had the option to condense information in the page instead of seeing everything all the time all at once. The educational website I'll be reviewing is themusictheory.net. When you come to it, this is the homepage right here. I think this website, I've used it a lot, so I'm very familiar, but I think it is simple enough that it's easy to become familiar with. You don't have to spend a lot of time to see how it works. Like I said, you get to the homepage, they have an advertisement for some of their apps if you'd like to pay for more content, but the real power on this website is the free tools they have here at the top. If you click on lessons, you have a huge option of simple music theory lessons. It goes all the way down to what the staffs are, how the clefs work, how ledger lines work, how to subdivide rhythm. It really goes as far back as you want it to and as complex as Neapolitan chords, which is something you learn in college. So this website can be used for everyone. Not just people that are learning, not just people that already have a lot of experience, which I think is really great. My one gripe about this website is I wish that you were able to collapse all these headings down. So instead of having the basics and then all the basics actually listed and then rhythm and meter and all the rhythm and meter actually listed, it was just basics, rhythm and meter, scales and key signatures, and I could choose to open and collapse them as I wanted. For me, I have this problem with the other websites I reviewed, but for me here, it's not as detrimental just because there's not as much pictures and information going on. Like there's only one sentence describing each of the exercises. So for me, it's less distracting, but I still think it could be used to clean up how it works. So you can go ahead and click on a lesson. Another thing I really enjoy is that it's not a video. You're able to go through, scroll through the image on the top, and as that happens, it scrolls down the text right here, and oh, you missed something? All right, just scroll back. It's not a big deal. You can also use this bar on the side to scroll down the text however you need. The imagery up here goes at its own pace, but you can stop it and start it as ever you want. Quickly go line to line here. Works very well. As soon as you go into a lesson, the top part of the screen becomes even more simplistic than it is in the beginning. I think the home and the gear for settings are very simple and recognizable for people that have been using computers and technology, so it works well. You also have the keyboard option, so you click on it, and boom, you got a whole keyboard to hear what you're seeing in your lesson, which is just a great tool to have for all kinds of musicians. Go ahead and you can click back on the home, and after, let's say you want to do some actual exercises, not just a lesson, you can come here and
you can have theory exercises as well as oral exercises, like ear training. Having both these options is really nice. It's hard to practice ear training on your own usually, so having a program to do it for you is really cool, and you have a lot of freedom with these kinds of things. So here it's playing notes on the keyboard, and you have to guess the interval from there. And here you can click on the gear and customize what you get. So you can widen, you can choose which note you're starting from. You can choose what the instrument is. You can choose the range of the interval. You can choose the speed. It gives you almost as much freedom as you could possibly ask for when you're practicing these things, which is really important. And not everyone's going to come to these websites with the same skills. So it works very well, I think. So with all these different exercises and tools, I think the website is just easy to navigate. Again, I wish you could collapse each of the headings if you would like, but it's not that big of a deal. I just think the information is you can get to it so quickly that it makes it just unbelievably efficient. And a really great option for education. Thank you for watching my video. I'll be sure to include the links to the websites I reviewed in order in the description. I think that's it for this. I'm looking forward to the rest of the quarter. Thanks.